What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran. And we're sort of jumping outside of the single chronology just for one reaction. This is actually a track that multiple people have asked me to react to going back more than a month. And in fact, there's been a couple people in the last few days who have asked me to react to this, and someone did so with like an all caps comment. So this is obviously a track that stands out to a lot of people. We're talking Burning the Ground. It's a single that came out in 1989 between Big Thing and Liberty. So I'm going to come back and react to the stretch mix of Skin Trade, and there's more singles on the Notorious album. There's like Meet El Presidente, so we're not done with the singles from the Notorious era, but again, this is a track that I'm actually like coming back to and that people have been mentioning for like more than a month. So given that a couple people were very adamant about it recently, I felt like it'd be okay to skip ahead. But yeah, like I said, we're going to come back to more Notorious singles after that. But I'm intrigued by the phrase, burning the ground. It makes me think of scorched earth. In turn, that makes me think, it's a type of concept that can manifest not only literally, but, in terms of emotions or, psychology, which is to say, burning the ground or scorched earth. It's the idea of eradicating any remaining nutrients or possible sustenance that can be derived from a physical environment. It could also be related to the concept of like burning bridges, which is to say burning the ground upon which you stand is, torching the very physical environment upon which you either already rely or may rely, and connections which you may rely upon, again taking it back to the burning the bridges idea. So burning the ground, I feel like it could go a few different ways. It does sound like sort of severe and a sort of drastic chemical change, which again, chemical, maybe emotional and psychological and so on. The idea that maybe on the way out the door of a relationship that has fallen apart, someone might cause great emotional harm to another person and therefore like leave their emotional life barren, and they're, having to somehow like irrigate their emotional life again and return sort of vitality to it over time. So maybe it'll have nothing to do with that. It might be sort of a, more opaque or sort of like an image or a sort of metaphor for a different concept. We'll have to see, but let's get to it. This is Duran Duran, Burning the Ground, a single from 1989. And as I said, this is between the Big Thing and Liberty albums.
Mr. President.
Your mission is find Duran Duran. Find Duran Duran.
Just a minute, I'll slip something on.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I heard that camera. Number one, it's a very danceable tune. Like I'm inclined to like get up and dance. Number two, the bass. It's like oozing energy. This is like a harder dance tune than I normally think of when I think of them doing like a dance style track. You did like breakdance to this. I see what they're doing here. We got the camera shots from Girls on Film. We got the Say the Prayer synth line. Notorious. This was amazing. I didn't realize what was going on at first. Why don't you use it? I feel like I would not have appreciated it without taking the larger journey up to the point I have. Yeah, Hungry Like the Wolf, like when that, let's call it a vocalization, first came in, I didn't make that connection. And Wild Boys, I heard that in there too. What a cheeky little song they have here. I wonder, like, was this, it feels like a celebration of their singles, and I wonder if, like, this is something that they had an idea for, or if it's something like the label sort of developed in conjunction. I imagine it was like their idea, but at the same time, like, it's a really interesting and sort of cheeky thing to do, to sort of make a like retrospective of like your most famous songs, like, you know, basically 10 years or less after you got started. It's a really interesting thing. I love it. And yeah, I enjoyed like the sort of heavier, as I said, sort of feel of a dance track even before I recognized kind of what was going on. So the sonics of the tune itself I think are fantastic, and then the references, once more, like if I had listened to this say 3-4 months ago, you know, I would have enjoyed it, I would have been foot tapping, I would have wanted to dance, but I would not have realized, you know, the cleverness and the subtlety of what they were doing. So yeah, let me know what you think of the tune. Again, I'm now going to jump back to that Skin Trade mix. I think it's called the Stretch Mix. Shout out to Izzy again. And then, like I said, I'll continue going through the singles and B-sides at a more like chronological nature. But as I said, this one was sort of like a special request from a few people, so I felt like I had to jump to it. Do let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace. Luca will see you next time too.